Hey guys, welcome back to Money is Blind podcast. I'm your host Prasoon. This is the show for blind and visually impaired persons. Particularly if you are trying to become an entrepreneur, this show is for you guys. I'm legally blind and I'm running multiple online businesses. And it's been 6 years now, close to 7, and I feel like I learned many new skills, and one of them is coding. So if you ask me, I know a little bit of Python, just the core Python codes for checking the intellectual ability of the developer before I hire him or her, for interviewing purposes, and I know a little bit of PHP. I know the syntaxes, the brackets, and all. I don't write code, but if I go through the code, I can make out what that code implies or what it stands for. I know a little bit of loops, the if and while loops, and the last couple of weeks I've been trying my luck with MySQL syntax. So MySQL was an open source database, and now it is not. It was acquired by Oracle, the IT giants, and MySQL is the database, is a type of database. It is an SQL type of database, and it is the most widely used database in almost all the web applications and even mobile applications that we have in this world right now. And one of the peculiarities of MySQL is that it uses commands in capital letter which are in capital letters. So why am I going through the MySQL syntax and trying to learn this new coding system? Just because that of the migration process that we are going through right now, from migrating from the second version of Do4D to the third. I want to get the users exported, and I don't trust any freelancers or any other third party company to do the same for me. So this thing is easy. I can write a few lines, a couple of lines of my SQL command, and I'll be able to export users, the user details, their demographic details like name, username, email address, mobile number, their place, the time that user was created, and all those sorts of user data I'll be able to migrate in a CSV file, and then I'll be using that CSV file to import that data to the new WordPress website, or even to OpenEMR or any other website for that matter. And when I do it myself, it is easy, it is secure, and I'm not revealing, or I'm not compromising on the privacy of all the users who had signed up for my businesses in the last couple of years. So it is not hard, but you'll definitely need the help of a personal assistant who will be doing this coding for you. Of course, you can type with a keyboard, but almost 90% of all the coding softwares that we use, the code editors or the code composers that we use, are not accessible with screen readers, whether it is a Visual Studio, or I'm also using Bastion, which comes with Microsoft Azure. I tried PowerShell in Microsoft, which is an application which comes built in all Windows computers. I tried Terminal on Mac and Linux. None of them can be depended upon if you're trying to code by yourself, because these are not accessible to screen readers. And one error, a single error, it could be a space, it could be an error in the syntax, It could be a comma, a full stop, or even capital letters or a slash here or there. A single mistake can break the code, and you won't be getting the result that you require. So it is really important. And so whenever I write any code, I double check with the help of my personal assistant. He reads it aloud for me, even the spaces, character by character. The large spellings we often skip, and we go through it only if we didn't get the desired result or the action that we are looking for. So, MySQL is easy. There are so many tutorials on the web, and I've been using ChatGPT as my second personal assistant to generate the code. It tells me which code or command to run for generating the user data that I need for my migration purpose. Because one database contains multiple tables, it could be somewhere from 30 to 100 tables in there, and the data that we require would be distributed in many tables. So in some instances we'll need to get data from specific tables, from two or three columns in one table, and then compare it with other columns in other tables, and then generate all these data into a CSV file that requires writing 2 or 3 lines of code. But this can be done only if you have a personal assistant. I know there are blind developers out there who are using these Visual Studio and other softwares, code editors, to write code, but I know how much difficult it is for you guys. I know how difficult this is because I just dipped my toe in the water of uh, development, and I know how difficult it is. So if any one of you out there is a developer, a blind one, or a visual impaired person, hats off to you guys. I know how difficult this is, and I really appreciate the work you do to make this world a better place. So you don't need to do this all by yourself. Of course, you can share the MySQL database credentials to a developer or even a freelancer and get the work done. But when it comes to privacy of your users, and when you don't trust other developers to do this work for you, you will have to do this all by yourself. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to give you a heads up that this thing can be done by ourselves with the help of ChatGPT and a personal assistant. This thing, any coding language can be learned. It can be used even if you're blind. It doesn't matter. So that's the takeaway from this episode of Money is Blind podcast. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. So consider subscribing to it. I'll be talking to you next day. That's tomorrow. Alright then. Bye bye.